Alrighty, so it has been about 6 hours. Raised a lot. So probably because it's quite hot today, that raised a bit more than I would usually let it raise, but that's all right, it's not a problem at this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that out onto a floured surface. I'm just going to use my chopping board because it's pretty easy to clean. So give it a good flour. Any too much excess, just kind of push it off, like lightly drag it off to the side. You'll use it later. And then you're essentially just going to dump this whole thing straight onto the floured surface. Hey, Dom, I'm just doing the video thing. That's all right. Okay, cool. Alright, so we'll put that out. Then we're going to put some flour over the top of it. I might actually just get some flour from here. Just put a nice bit of flour. So this overall is quite a dry dough. It's not particularly wet. You get a lot wetter doughs. That's alright. You're just going to kind of get a nice floured up. You're just going to pick the whole thing up. And then just lay it back down. So you don't want to punch the air out, you just want to settle it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do two things. I don't need that anymore. I'm going to make one loaf. I'm going to make some rolls. So I'm just setting up my proofing basket. Just set up earlier. Going to flour that up. Come on, go. Get that flour. Alright, so with this guy, with this dough you can either make 2 full loaves. I'm just going to cut it in half. And then turn that into a loaf. And I'm going to turn this into 3 rolls. Right. So there's different ways to proof these things. A bit sticky, that guy. So there's a different way to proof these and set these up. So I'll do the loaf first. I'll leave the rolls till later. Or to next. Any big air bubbles, just pop them now. You don't want them sitting in the middle of it all that big. The more air bubbles will develop as during the proofing process. So to make a round one, you're just going to essentially fold it up over itself like that. Nice little tight ball. Flip it over. Use your hands to just kind of like tuck it underneath. And this is a good important part. What you want to do is lightly grab it and you're going to kind of pull it towards you. So what it's doing is pulling underneath and creating tension on the surface of the dough, which is what you want. Make sure your hands are floured. You don't want it sticking to you, it's just really annoying. So any bubbles like that, flick it out. And then it's looking pretty good. So put that in there. Give it a little light flour. Ooh. Then cover that, put that off to the side. With these guys, we're gonna get a tray. Line it with baking paper. Up all these. And then, so this one looks a bit smaller than these other two, so we're just going to do that. Yeah, that looks better. So I'm just going to make little rolls, so the same process. For any little circular things, you just want to fold it all up in itself in a little parcel. and roll it over. Get your hands nice and floured. You don't want to stick. And then just do the pull. And this is the same thing when you're ever making a pizza dough. This is the exact same technique to shape it. Just fold over itself. Do that nice little ball, create tension. Plop it down. The next one. On itself, over there. Pop it over. Get a nice little shape there, get rid of that bubble. Create that tension. There we go, looks nice. Back over here. My hands were a little, not quite floured enough there, just stuck at the end. So just always make sure your hands are nice and floured. Tuck that over. So you can just kind of like, I just kind of like use my fist, like my hands to cup underneath it and just rotate it a little bit. Couple little bubbles there, nothing major. And then we put that here. So now, it's a different proofing method. With this guy, you're going to want to proof it for about an hour and then check it. And I'll show you what to do in about an hour when we do check it. It's about an hour to hour 15 minutes. In this heat, I reckon about an hour. And then these guys, you want to dust these a bit with flour, just like that. And then you're going to a little bit of cling wrap. And put that over. Well, I might need 2 bits just to make it nice and tight. Sweet. So this guy, you're going to leave this for about 30 minutes in any temperature above like 23, 24 degrees. Just leave it for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you'll put this in the fridge for at least another 30 minutes, but you can leave that overnight. The longer it is in the fridge, usually overnight, it actually develops quite a bit of flavour. It can lose its shape a little bit, but it kind of comes back when you cook it. So minimum 30 minutes on the bench, depending on the temperature. Minimum 30 minutes in the fridge, up to overnight. Even like a full day and a half is fine. This guy, as I mentioned, you proof that for a full hour, just at room temperature. I'll just put this guy here. And while you are doing that, particularly for this guy, you're going to prep your cooking station while you're cooking. So you're going to put the oven to 245 degrees Celsius, so very, very hot. You want to put that on as soon as you start proofing this. And you're going to get your cooking dish. So this is mine. It's had a few goes at it. So you just, actually that's got some flour from last time. So you just want to put this in the oven so it's heating up and it's in the oven for at least 45 minutes while the oven's preheating. You want this thing to be full 245. All the temperatures throughout the whole oven throughout this to be the same because you need that consistent heat. So these go back here. Chuck this in the oven. It's heating up, and now we'll be back in about an hour. These will be in the fridge by then. We'll do this and we'll do that second.